So, guys, for those of you doing banking Ghana, banking insurance Ghana, you are going to look for every single paper in a taxonomy. I'm going to let one of you explain the taxonomy. Every single paper in a taxonomy that have been done on bank efficiency in Ghana, on insurance efficiency in Ghana. So every paper for Ghana. For those of you who are doing oil, you have to get every paper ever done in the oil and gas sector in the world. There are only 36 of them, so I know. In fact, if you normally when you are doing this taxonomy, you should get at least 100 papers. And then for energy, the same thing. For energy, the taxonomy is already there, so it's quite a lot. So you have to just get from 2008 up to date, because somebody has done from time up to 2008. Now, Diana, are you going to, I want you to explain what I mean by the taxonomy to each one of them. Diana.
Yes, Doc.
You have an example of a taxonomy?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to make you an admin so that you can share your screen with them.
Yes, Doc.
So choose, share your screen with them and explain.
Okay, so Doc, I'm trying to open mine so that I would use it to explain to all of us. I'm opening mine so that I will use it to explain, please.
No problem. Hey, you have a beautiful background. Is that what the baby is crying?
No, Doc, I sell bed sheets.
Or by a market?
What is it?
Do you sell duvet?
Yes, Doc. Doc, would you need some, please?
One day.
Okay.
When I got married, they gave me 20 of them for free.
I see.
For those of you who don't know taxonomy, she's going to explain it to you.
Oh.
Take your time to come.
Okay.
And before it comes, you can talk now.
Okay, so basically, when we talk about a taxonomy, with the little that I know, it gives you a summary of each paper that you read. See, like Doc said, we're going to have to review about at least 100 papers. And so initially, he taught me that when you start from day one, every paper that you read, in relation to your topic, you have to get down the details of it so that later you can always refer to it. So an example is what I have here. I couldn't get my updated one from my Dropbox, but this is an example. If we can all see my screen, we have this Excel sheet. You have the various columns. So we have the first one being the paper.
Diana, make it a bit
I
bigger.
always want
Zoom in.
to. Okay.
Zoom in a bit.
Okay. Please, is it better now? Is it okay?
Yeah.
Okay. So I prefer to have my first column to be the topic or the title of the paper I reviewed. And then I bring the authors, then the dimensions, like if you are looking at cost efficiency, total factor energy efficiency, profit efficiency, I put that in the third column. Then what models were used? So as you review the individual papers, you might want to write down what models they used in carrying out the type of efficiencies that they did. Then you also need inputs and outputs. For cost efficiency, when I was developing this taxonomy, I started with normal efficiency. So I did not create a column for prices of inputs, but you can also create a column to always fit the study that you are doing. So we have the inputs, we have the outputs, and then because I am also looking at undesirable outputs, I wanted to know which papers are dealing with that so that later it can help me, especially when I'm looking at my literature review and the like. And then the next one is the units of analysis. What were they looking at? Were they looking at maybe banks? Were they looking at insurers? Which period were they looking at and all that? I keep the details under the units of analysis. And then the next is the effects. I looked at factors that affect efficiency and productivity. I know that basically, definitely, I would need this. So as I review the papers, I pick their factors and then keep notes of them. Then the next thing is the gaps. So I look out for gaps in each of the papers that I review, and then that will help me to shape my topic, which I've just done. Then initially we thought of doing bootstrapping, but now I know I wouldn't need it. But still, when I review the papers, I keep notes of it, whether they did or they did not. And the last one is my objectives. For each paper that I reviewed, I try to summarize their objectives into this column to help me in the study.
Okay. The next thing you should have brought was findings.
Findings, okay. Okay.
So, Edwin, it's not necessary to want to know what bootstrapping is now. You'll be worrying your head with it. So don't worry. So you need findings because that will help you to know the summary of the finding. Because once you know the findings, when it comes to your conclusion, you will juxtapose your conclusion against their conclusion.
Okay.
And so when you come and then you say that in our study, A affects B,
yes,
and B affects C, but this finding is not new because it's also been found by this paper, this paper, this paper.
Okay.
So for every paper, you should have findings. There's one more thing you needed.
What?
Orientation.
Okay.
Orientation.
Okay.
Whether the paper was using input orientation or output orientation.
Okay. And that's all.
There's another column you needed. Tell me if you already have. It is second stage. Type of second stage regression.
Type of second stage.
Yes, the regression.
Okay.
Whether it's Tobit regression, whether it's OLS regression, ordinary least squares regression,
Okay.
whether it's fractional systems regression, whether it's GMM, you know,
Okay.
and I'll teach you guys all the details of second stage. The orientation is either input or output or non-orientation.
Non-orientation.
It's either input, output, or non-orientation. That's the orientation.
Okay.
I can see that you have a section called models.
Yes.
Models. I like that. That is fine. The only thing is that go to models and let me show you. The only thing is the models. If it is DEA, you have to be specific about. I know what you are saying here, which is fine.
Okay.
To indicate whether it is SBM you are doing, the type of DEA model.
Okay.
And the various types of DEA model. Yeah, for you guys, you wouldn't do too much except whether you are doing BCC, CCR, and SBM. So you leave the models. But the dimension, you mean the type of efficiency, eh?
Yes. Yes.
So make it a type of efficiency, efficiency type. And guys, you guys will learn all of this. I have a lecture on this for all of you. So normally, the types of efficiency are pure technical. We call it PTE or TE. Or SE, that is the scale efficiency.
Okay.
Or CE. Remember, we have TE and CE. E is cost efficiency, RE is revenue efficiency, PE is profit efficiency. And then when it comes to the productivity section, normally it's one of these two. Either you're talking about MPI or CMPI. That is Manquist or cost Manquist.
Okay.
So the types of efficiency or productivity is indicated there. So efficiency to productivity type. Guys, are you learning how you build a taxonomy? In fact, what goes into the taxonomy is exactly what she has there. Of course, each one of you will have something slightly, maybe one or two different things. But the general. Now, the first one you wrote, Diana, which is paper.
Yes.
I know it is for you yourself alone. But for majority of people, there's no need to write the title of the paper.
Okay.
There's no need. But as for the authors, that's the first thing I was coming. That you have so long a taxonomy, so long, and then you even be confused how you go about it.
Okay.
So the way you have this at the bottom here at the efficiency of productivity, you see in one of them you have productive and cost of technical into bracket scale or hand. So the acronyms help.
Okay.
The acronym, if it is CE, we know it's cost efficiency. If it is TE, we know it's technical. If it is SE, we know it's scale. If it is AE, we know it's allocative.
Allocative.
RE, we know it's revenue. If it is PE, we know it's profit. So when you use the acronyms, you squeeze the space.
Okay.
Okay. Now, the advantage of you, and I'm talking to you and whoever is doing energy, and I think you are the only one doing energy here. The advantage for you is that no paper has looked at, I mean, the papers that have looked at energy are quite a number of them. But the papers that are looked at cost, efficiency in energy, I think there's none. So,
yes, so far.
so because of that, your taxonomy is supposed to be on the lines of energy efficiency studies,
Okay.
so that you get more papers. But it shouldn't be energy efficiency studies. In fact, I think I recently sent you a paper that I've done a taxonomy on energy efficiency again.
Yes, I have a paper. Like I have a paper like that.
So what you want to do then is to build on that, so you can target that. I'm going to just give a taxonomy on papers that I've done, every paper on energy efficiency from this time, maybe from 2018, after the time when that paper ended.
Okay.
So that you build yours on that. So if somebody wants to know what about the previous year's one, it will be just your own. It will be a build up of what you are doing for that guy.
Okay.
Yeah. But then, even though people have not done energy efficiency, energy cost efficiency, and energy productivity, another thing we'll review will be the cost productivity studies.
Okay.
And I can tell you that they are not even up to 20.
So you mean in other sectors?
Even in other sectors in the world.
Okay.
Any sector in the world.
Okay.
Cost productivity has not been done. So you should be able to look at that. And then the reason why this thing is important is that one day you will see that you write another paper on taxonomy of papers that have been doing cost efficiency. And then you can just do studies on cost efficiency taxonomy alone. And you write it as a paper.
Okay.
Yeah, so some of these things, they are quite important. Okay, so I'm coming to taxonomy on oil and gas.
Okay.
Now, taxonomy on oil and gas has already been done by Charles. So you tell this guy who was asking the question. Taxonomy on oil and gas has already been done by Charles. So you just have to do a follow-up on what Charles has done. But trust me, if you try to copy it, so that's why I don't normally give things to people. If I give things to people, then they are going to be copying. Saying, if I give it Charles, oh, nah, papa, copy. So what I want you to do is to get all the papers that have been done on oil and gas. And to be honest with you, just trying to, who asked that question?
Look, oil and gas is discounts.
Yeah, but who asked the question? Somebody asked the question. Was it discount?
That's Emmanuel.
Who is Emmanuel? Emmanuel.
Doug is Emmanuel, finance.
Emmanuel, have you contacted your department to be sure that they have given you to me?
Doug, we are still in the last I contacted. We submitted our thesis topics not long ago. Hello.
Emmanuel.
Doug, I'm listening.
You said you contacted them and then they what?
He said there's on it.
No, the
Because we
HOD
submitted our thesis topics not long ago.
the HOD just called me and told me that only one person he has given me to supervise. So it
Okay.
means that they did not give me you to me. So I want you to confirm so that you don't, you don't stay with me without realizing.
Okay. Good.
So contact the HOD to be sure that you have been given to me. In fact, she
Okay.
called me 2 hours ago. So that is why I am quite
All right.
on that. All right.
Okay.
Okay.
So what was it? Discount or but
Yes,
this
sir.
he wasn't even the one who asked that question. Discount wasn't the one who asked the question.
Dog, I'm here.
I'm posting a certain document. Guys, did
Okay.
you see it in the chat? Oh, I think he went to Dinah rather.
Doc, should I still keep my screen?
Yeah, keep it.
Okay.
Guys, I have posted a tabular taxonomy of efficiency and productivity studies in the oil sector. Do you guys see it?
No, not yet.
It's in the group. Oh.
It's yet to grow.
Somebody says he sees it and he says it's here too.
What's up?
Okay, Dinah, you can take off your screen.
Okay, Doc.
I'm saying that it is our chat here, not in the WhatsApp group. It is a Zoom chat here.
Okay. I've seen it.
All right. So that is just an example, but there are more details that are in Dinah's own. So all of you, if you want the tabular taxonomy, the headings, contact Dinah to give you her own, and then you have the headings. Any question on tabular taxonomy? And I every single one of you, and this is what I want to repeat this. All of you doing energy, I need you to get a tabular taxonomy of all the papers that have been done on energy following the last taxonomy that was done. And Dinah, in this case, only you is doing it, so you know what I mean.
Yes, Doc.
Oil and gas.
Yes, dog.
You should do the same thing. Oil and gas, you should do the same thing. In fact, for oil and gas, you should do. And by the way, there has been a taxonomy of oil and gas recently, not long ago, last year or so. So build on that and add more to that.
Okay.
Now, let's go to those of you doing banking and insurance. Banking and insurance, listen carefully. There are millions of papers that have been written on taxonomy in banking. If you say you are doing all of that, you die. If you say you are doing all of that, you die. So banking and insurance, listen to me carefully. Are you listening?
Yes, sir.
This is what I want you guys to do. And you have to pay attention so that you don't come and make things complex for me and for you yourself. What I want you to do is identify all the taxonomical papers, all the review, sometimes we call it review papers of papers, or bibliometric studies, or taxonomical studies. Now you know what a taxonomy is. That contains a list of all the papers that have been done in the area. And there are just about 10 to 15 of them in banking and just under 10 of them in insurance. Get all of the studies that have looked at that. I just want you to look at the studies because you can't do for country by country and paper by paper. But, and listen carefully, I need you guys to get a taxonomy of all the papers that have been done in Ghana and in Africa. Taxonomy of all the papers that have been done in Ghana and in Africa, as far as banking and insurance is concerned. Are you guys with me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. When you have done and you say the only thing you had was 20, you are wrong. The only thing you had was 30, you are wrong. The only papers you had, that was in banking or insurance, okay? And it was for Ghana separately and then Africa separately. And the only thing you had was 50, you are wrong. The only thing you had was, and I'm talking about combining that of Ghana and Africa, it should be more than 50. In fact, the case of Ghana alone, papers that have been done on banking efficiency and productivity in Ghana, banking efficiency and productivity in Ghana, insurance efficiency and productivity in Ghana, okay, that alone is quite a lot. And I want you to get all of those studies ever done. Okay? So one of the things you can do is that you can be cross-fertilizing ideas with each other so that you can be helping each other on that. You need to generate a powerful summary taxonomy for this. It's your assignment and I need that done by next week. Do you all get it before I go to the next thing?
Yes, sir.
Is everybody clear as far as taxonomy is concerned?
Yes, sir.
Yes, Doc.
Okay. Next thing. I'm showing you the proposal. So as an example, let me show you guys something. As an example, I'm sharing this screen. As an example, if you look at the screen on your screen, dynamic cost productivity and economies of scale of Ghanaian insurance. If you look at this, it is for which industry are we looking at here? Anybody?
The insurance industry.
Insurance. So if you are doing banking, I would not expect you to include this. Now that you know it's in insurance, which country are we looking at?
Looking at Ghana.
Ghana. So if you are doing insurance and you are making a list of the thing, I would expect you to add this. Then when you sit down and look at the paper, your job is to read this paper. That's your job. Read the paper and then bring the content into the tabular taxonomy as it is. And you can get most of the things you're looking for in the abstract. For your information, all of you will always get the information from the abstract. For example, just looking at the abstract, you see that there's cost efficiency here. So you know that this paper was looking at cost efficiency and productivity. So you know. And then you know the acronym for that. Then you know that another thing that it looked at is economies of scale. Diana.
Yes, Doc.
You have some column indicating other. There was a column you needed, and this one is in the one for Charles. It's called concept.
Concept. Okay.
Yes. So the concept has to do with another thing is looking at, for example, whether it's corporate governance, is leverage, is capital structure, is corruption, is productivity, is corruption, it is ownership, it is what do you call competition. You get a point?
Yes, Doc.
But there must be another topic. In your case, you are looking at undesirable output.
Yes.
So other specific concept of framework that is the paper looked at, you will include that in the concept. And in this case, economies of scale. And then you have something related to the sample size. This is the sample size.
Yes.
The period. Then the size, sometimes you have to go to data. And then you go and get that of the data itself exactly. And things like that. So what I'm saying is that the abstract will give you a lot of information. All right. Yes, Andrew.
And Doc, please, for the taxonomy, for the banking and finance, can you give us a limit or as many as we can do?
I've limited you that you should take Ghana alone. Instead of taking Nigeria, US, Australia, like those in oil and gas are doing, and those in energy are doing, I have limited you guys to only Ghana.
Okay, so
I'm not limiting you how many. Every paper in Ghana, they are not even up to 50.
Okay. Because I was wondering, and for some of the papers, it looks like you have to pay a subscription and you have to pay for the paper. So I'm wondering if we can.
Anytime you find the paper, all of you, anytime you find the paper but you can't access it, take a screenshot and put it in the DEA group page. Somebody will download it and put it there for you.
Okay.
Every time.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, please, can somebody help me with this paper? That's all you say.
Okay.
And when you take a screenshot of the paper, you will also type the title of the paper in the group page to make it easier for the person.
Oh, okay. And also, Doc, please, about the taxonomy and some of the concepts, they look quite technical.
They are supposed to be technical because you have not learned them.
Okay, so but it shouldn't affect our ability to create the taxonomy.
Oh, no, it shouldn't.
Okay.
It shouldn't. As long as you know that the paper is a Ghanaian paper, that is enough. Even if you can't create a taxonomy with it, my interest is that you should at least have the paper downloaded.
Okay.
And later on, if you are struggling with how to write a taxonomy for it, we'll help you. But for now, you should get the paper saved on your machine.
Yes, please.
And by the way, Dinah, teach them how to save papers.
Thank you very much, Doc.
Dinah, teach them how to save their papers.
Okay, so you save with the name of the author, the year, and then the title. Doc, is that all, please?
If you heard her carefully,
name.
Somebody should write it in the chat room. Are we all clear with that?
Yes, please.
Right. So you should know clearly when you are saving. So you save the name of the author, the year, then the title. So when you are, because later on you are all going to share your folder with me through Dropbox. When you are now connecting, linking your folder with me and all of that, I am expecting to see you save the thing in a nice fashion. Name, year, and title. Name, year, title. And please, somebody should type that in the DA group page for people to know. All right. Next thing. So any question on taxonomy? Any question on taxonomy? Any question? Now you will be confused at many times when you're doing this taxonomy. But like I said, the focus is not to write every taxonomy. The focus is to download the paper. That's the most important thing. Now, the next, what do you call it? The next thing I want to now, I'm sure by now you all can see the proposal template. You all have it.
Yes, Doc.
Now, I'm just going to copy this proposal template and put it in the page. Because if you have it like that, it helps you to know what goes into it. What we are going to do is that next time, we are going to learn everything that must be inside the background. If you are writing your proposal, what must go into the background? What must go into the problem statement? What must go into the contributions of the study? Somebody might say. What has to go into the objective, the question, the literature review, the methodology, data sampling and sources, preliminary findings, limitations, structure, timeline, references. Everything here must be part of your proposal. And so I need to walk you through each one of them. But before we do the next one next time, you must have done a lot of downloading of the papers I've told you to download. And please note, these papers must have something related to efficiency, productivity, and your particular industry you're looking at. And then, for those of you doing insurance, and banking, please, I said all papers on insurance, banking, efficiency, and productivity in Ghana, all papers in Ghana. And I even want you to add all papers in Africa too. All papers in Africa. All papers in Africa. I'm not going to let you go to Europe, else you die. But all papers in Africa. And in the case of, and I'm saying this because I know that there are fewer papers in efficiency and productivity studies on banks and insurance in Africa. So that is why I'm saying that get me everything in Ghana and get me everything in Africa, in that particular industry of yours. You have to be fast, okay? Because I'm going to check. Some of you are going to get more than others. So note it. Any question?
Yes,
question?
Doc.
Yes, go ahead.
And please, this is Dinah. You said that if we are doing a particular industry, we should stick to that. But in my case, I'm looking at energy, but much has not been done when it comes to cost efficiency. So in that case, can I look at cost efficiency than in other sectors, like
No.
your paper?
No.
Okay.
No. What I said was that in your case, a paper has looked at energy. So that would be the base.
Okay.
So the paper would have told you that they did this energy thing from 1999 to 2015.
Yes.
So you have to build up from 2015 to 2020.
Okay.
That's the first one. The second one is you get studies that have looked at cost productivity. Now, okay, if you want to do cost efficiency, that's fine. Cost efficiency and cost productivity. In all sectors, that will be fine. In all sectors. Guys, you guys can see that she's in all sectors. Somebody will say every nonsensical sector. And you guys are doing only banking and your client. Yes, all sectors, because you and I both know that he is limited.
Yes.
Yes, do that. So you'll have two different taxonomies.
Okay.
All right. Any other question from anybody? Any other question from anybody? Yes, Desmond.
Hello, sir. Sir, please, there was light at our place, so I couldn't join earlier. I learned you're done with those who are doing oil and gas.
Hmm?
I said that I couldn't join earlier when we were doing the topic modification.
And you are doing what?
Oil and gas.
You can't do oil and gas. You die. So
Okay,
go
sir.
start thinking about possible things in insurance or banking and let me know using this background information. What was your GPA?
Sir, 3.85.
8.5.
Yes, sir.
So what I want you to do is look at the topic on your screen. If you like, I'll just post it in the group page for you. And then you now have to get a topic that connects. Look at your colleagues' own they have posted in the group. Are you in the DEA group page?
Come again? Yes, sir. I'm in the DA group page.
Yeah. So look at what the others have done. And then get me a topic. You might get me one topic. I'll say no. Next one, it works.
Okay, sir. All right.
Next question. Guys, I want to just tell you that you will get frustrated sometimes. It's part of this. So don't be worried at all. You will be sometimes want to hit your head in the wall. It's fine. It's acceptable. Eventually, when you're able to crack it, you'll be happy. So when you are going through the challenges in this exercise, do not be perturbed. Also, do not detach yourself from me consistently. WhatsApp me most of the time with anything that is not clear. In many of the things, you may have to put it on the page. I will see it and answer you there instead of you directing it to me. Unless it's quite personal and then you can direct it to me. But if you need specific support, put it on the page and I'll see you there. Never be shy to request for help in the group page because there are doctors I've trained who are on the group page and there are masters and PhD students on the group page. They will never mind you unless you've asked for it. So do not drink the Alafia bitters all alone. You are limited. Your time is limited here. You got to get it done. From my experience, many students delay from the beginning, and then when the semester, the year is ending, you rush. All right. Any other question? For those of you doing bank, get to know yourself so that you start gathering your data. There is a data for bank and for insurance there. Ask in the group page. If there is no question, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a real pleasure meeting you this day to share another exciting moment. We have the next 1 week to build up yourself and we'll meet next Monday. Now, sometimes I may call you that we are meeting, but I'll let you know at least a day before.
Okay.
For those of you. However, you have my WhatsApp, so anything you can let me know at any time. Your proposal must be ready by the end of September. So you got to work around the clock. Your proposal must be ready. So it's very important that you do all of these things that I'm sharing with you. Because by next week, I'm now going to zoom you into it. Because once you're able to download all of the papers, I'm going to give you 3 different templates of proposal. That's what I'm going to be doing. 3 different templates of someone's proposal. Then you're looking at the template, and if you are doing something on banking, I will not give you a banking template. I'll give you energy template. If you are doing something on energy, I'll not give you an energy template. I'll give you something on insurance template so that you can think and not go and copy some people's things. There is no question. Have a wonderful day. All the best. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Doc.
You too, Doc. Thank you, Doc.
Thank you, sir.
All right.